Hello, Woke Nation. Know the truth, share the truth. Jesus Christ is Lord, creator of heaven and earth. So today I want us to look at the creator and how he created the world and the heavens and all that you can see. So in Genesis chapter 1 verse 1, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. So here it is Moses who started by emphasizing that it was God that created the heaven and the earth. Then verse 2, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So I want you to take note of the word earth and how it has been used in that context. So the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. So notice that verse 3, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. Now another thing I want you to notice there is that light was within the darkness before being separated, thus making the night and the day. So I want you to notice that this is light that has been created on the first day. We go to verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So the first day he created light, and he separated the light from the darkness. Verse 6. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Now I want you to also notice here that the waters that he was hovering over are the ones that have been divided in the midst. They have been divided in the middle, so that there can be a firmament, a space, a dome, which separates the waters from the waters that are above from the waters that are below. And God called, this is verse 8, and God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Now, I want you to remember where we took note of, where he said that the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. So you can see clearly that the heavens that are being created here are heavens that are bound to earth. These are heavens that are bound to earth, and God, as we know, is above the heavens. So the firmament that was created is what he called heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. That is the second day. The second day he is created a firmament that he called heaven. Remember, again, he talked about the earth being formless and void and desolate. He created the heavens that we know out of the earth, for the earth was everything under the throne. Thus the second day he created the heavens. Know the truth, share the truth. Jesus Christ is Lord, creator of heaven and earth.
In like manner, as Copernicus had claimed positively the sun to be 3,391,200 miles away, and Kepler had calculated it to be 12,376,800 miles away, Newton was quoted as remarking, quote, "It matters not whether we reckon it 28 or 54 million miles distant, for either would do just as well." It appears he was correct, because the alleged distance to the heliocentrist sun has continued to increase by the millions until today, where we stand with NASA's current official figure of 93 million. In 1773, Captain Cook became the first modern explorer known to have breached the Antarctic Circle and reached the ice barrier. This expedition offered an exciting chance to find proof of either the flat or globe Earth models, because Captain Cook intended to sail completely around Antarctica looking for inlets through the ice wall. If the Earth was indeed a globe 25,000 miles in equatorial circumference, as the heliocentrists claimed, then a complete circumnavigation of Antarctica would be approximately 12,000 miles. And if the Earth was flat, with Antarctica surrounding the entire circumference, a complete circumnavigation of Antarctica would have to take over 50,000 miles. During 3 voyages, lasting 3 years and 8 days, Captain Cook and crew sailed a total of 60,000 miles along the Antarctic coastline, never once finding an inlet or path through or beyond the massive glacial wall. Captain Cook wrote, quote, "The ice extended east and west, far beyond the reach of our sight, while the southern half of the horizon was illuminated by rays of light which were reflected from the ice to a considerable height." Later voyages by Captain James Clark Ross and Captain George Nares in the 19th century further confirmed Cook's findings. Ross's expedition spent 4 years and 5 months in heavily armored warships, failing to find an entry point beyond the southern glacial wall. And Nares spent over 3 years circumnavigating Antarctica, taking an admittedly indirect course, but clocking in nearly 69,000 miles total. If Antarctica was truly the tiny ice continent claimed by globe Earth proponents, all of these expeditions would have ended years sooner. In addition to this, many Antarctic explorers, including Captain James Clark Ross and Lieutenant Charles Wilkes, using globe Earth projection maps, wrote in their journals perplexed at how they routinely found themselves out of accordance with their charts, stating that they found themselves an average of 12 to 16 miles outside their reckoning every day, later on further south, increasing to as much as 29 miles per day. These huge discrepancies, experienced by explorers the further south traveled, are usually attributed to increasingly strong storms, winds, and currents. But if that were the case, they should have just as often found themselves ahead of their reckoning, which they never did. In 1783, the hot air balloon was invented, and for the first time in recorded history, people were able to float miles above the Earth's surface and see for themselves, once and for all, whether or not the Earth was flat or a globe. To many people's astonishment, as high as they rose, the horizon remained perfectly flat 360 degrees around them, and rose to the level of their eyes all the way up. Jay Glacier wrote in his Travels in the Air that, quote, "On looking over the top of the car, the horizon appeared to be on level with the eye, and taking a grand view of the whole visible area beneath, I was struck with its great regularity. All was dwarfed to one plane. It seemed too flat." M. Victor Emmanuel, another hot air balloonist, wrote that, quote, "Instead of the Earth declining from the view on either side, and the higher part being under the car, as is popularly supposed, it was the exact opposite. The lowest part, like a huge basin, being immediately under the car, and the horizon on all sides rising to the level of the eye. As stated previously, this is only possible on a flat plane."
If you have any questions, the door is open, but time is limited. Know the truth, share the truth. Jesus Christ is Lord, creator of heaven and earth.